Hey guys, this is Jay from Team AJ and today we're going to review the game Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challenges for the Nintendo Switch. So I can remember the first time I played Street Fighter 2. It was the same day one of my friends bought an SNES copy of the game into the school in his backpack. Even though we already planned on going to his house later that day, the dude actually smuggled it in just to flash the cartridge to us. I don't even remember it any of us, though it was cool. What ensued that night was a flurry of hand slaps, electricity, and Hadoukens. Consulting the manual, we learned how to do commands and charge moves, pouring over the rate rare out of the combo. Decades later, not a lot has changed, but given the massive amount of iterations this one mold has had, Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challenge, doesn't feel quite as impressive. Ultra's nostalgic intro gets its tendrils in you very quickly. One look at the old school Ryu, one pass of those retro sound effects and announcer, and I'm back in my bedroom with my X-Men curtains. But a lot has changed since then. Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challenger's main gimmick is swapping between the classic pixelated and modern graphical styles. While I'm not nearly as down on the latter as most, the way the swap is actually implemented actually feels more outdated. The big hang-up is that you can't actually hot swap them in game or even mid mode. You have to unceremoniously go back to the main menu to do it. The same goes for the retro or modern sound effects and the music, although I really dig the new OST. With games like Wonder Boy and several others dedicating a button to it, the option in Ultra feels like a core. I can understand why Capcom wouldn't want people swapping online but offline. Anything should go. Although I wouldn't necessarily recommend the segmented D pad of the Joy-Con for serious play, it does work. I primarily used a Pro, but didn't have many issues with the complex combos or even supers like Raging Demon with some practice. I bet some folks will even win some tournaments with it, but that's more so just to speak to the ages between the Street Fighter 2. Just about anyone can pick it up and start learning rudimentary combos or experiment with the few command moves they have at their disposal and feel formidable. Newcomers Evil Ryu and Violet Ken are basically Dark Shoto clones with slightly different movesets. Ken has a little psycho power in him. But they slot nicely into the crew, which already represents just about every fighting game style already. Charge characters, masters, zoning, there's something for everyone. You can see why Capcom would rest on its laurels with a cast like this. Ultra Street Fighter 2 also has an arcade mode, which is a surprisingly novel take given Capcom's stance with Street Fighter 5. Ha! With an online fight request coin up system to boot, it's pretty spiffy, and I worked my way through arcade with most of the 19 characters and had a blast. Another notable inclusion is Buddy Battle. It's a 2 versus 1 affair that has roots in its series, but is rarely paraded out. It's a good way to teach someone the game, and although veterans will probably ghost it in the minute they boot up Ultra, it's a great icebreaker, especially when coupled with the light control scheme that lets you assign command most buttons. They just don't go far enough with it, as it's essentially a glorified boss rush. I don't even want to dignify the way of the Hado, the game's motion-enabled first-person review mode, with a response. Seriously though, it's not worth your time, as it's most unresponsive slog that harkens back us to the original V's era of poorly implemented waggle. You're beating up fodder for the most part by flailing your arms to trigger a few iconic moves. And although the M Bison boss fight shows some promise, it's one blip on the beaten up second-hand radar. 3 levels of difficulty, an endless mode, and an RPG system with non-noticeable stat increases attempt to provide some semblance of loyalty through the mode, but I will never play it again. Much less show to it anyone else as a demonstration of what the Joy-Con are capable of. Don't worry, what I played of ARMS is much better. There's also some gallery stuff to peruse, like Sagat or the blooded corpse of Dan, that sort of thing. Custom color, something allowed from SNK to return. As do the innate benefits of playing on the Switch, taking the system off the dock, bringing it to someone's house and just swapping off the Joy-Con is perfect for fighters, even with the aforementioned D-pad issues. Make the new Ultra Street Fighter 2 the final challenge as mostly the same as the old Street Fighter 2, beyond the veil of some visual wizardry and the few road fleeting fluff modes. This is the old school foundation that a lot of folks build their fighting game careers on. That's not a bad thing, especially with the Switch on the go hook, but it could just as easily have been a downloadable release. So that's it from Team AJ now. So as always, thank you for watching. Peace out.